We're back to looking at the 2024 recruiting class, and today we're going to change things up a little bit and look at the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to start things off with 5-star cornerback Ellis Robinson, who is committed to Georgia right now. We're going to take a look at his highlights. We're going to take a look at his 24/7 Sports player profile page so we can get to know him a little bit on top of watching his game. But what you need to do right now is click that subscribe button, tap with the finger on your phone, click it with the mouse on the computer, because we're covering these recruits from the 2024 class all off season long. We're going over their highlights, their recruiting profiles, their scouting reports, and everything else. And we're going to be covering players for your team, players in the future, and you're going to want to be in the know of some of these players. Click that button, stop missing out. But let's look at Ellis Robinson. We're going to start things off with this 24/7 Sports player profile page. However, if you're here for just the highlights, just fast forward a few minutes, maybe 3 or so, and you'll get there. But first thing, he's a hard commit and been a hard commit since February to Georgia. Crystal Ball has him 100% going to Georgia. 5-star recruit, #1 cornerback in the class here, and rated highly on all the other recruiting sites. 6'1", 185 pounds. So for the cornerback position, we got some length here from Brenton, Florida here. And then what I like to look at, and is my favorite thing to look at on the recruiting sites, is the offers. Who's offering him up? He's got 32 of them. And makes no surprise here. He's a 5-star, one of the top corners in the country. Georgia, Alabama, Miami, top-tier Power 5 schools. Multiple visits. You kind of expect that when you're rated that high. And then his accolades, Under Armour, All-American game here. And then looking at his scouting report, they're saying he has the potential to be a day 1 draft pick, so a first-rounder. He has plenty of length and speed. 2-year starter at IMG, one of the better programs in the country at the high school level. Has valuable experience working in man and zone, so he's very malleable in what schemes he plays in. Has great ball skills, good open field tackling, but could get better at it. 4.5 speed at the 40-yard dash, so more than good enough to get the job done. Does not have much on his resume here when they're mentioning him doing track. They don't mention him playing any other sports or anything like that. But he was very productive throughout his high school career. And then looking through the timeline, his recent visits. So just recently, November 4th, he visited Georgia. Prior to that, Miami, Alabama, Miami. And then prior to those 3 visits with Miami and Alabama, we also was visiting the Georgia Bulldogs. Not much else on the profile here. 5-star recruits. We have the size. We have the length. Everybody wants him. So the scouting report is looking good on this guy. The ratings are looking good on this guy. Ellis Robinson looks like he has some goods to his game, but we're going to find out right now. We're going to check out the highlights. About 4 minutes of highlights on him. So let me know in the comments below, what do you see? Any rumors you've heard? Drop that down here, but we're going to watch Ellis Robinson real quick to see what he's about here. So first off, looks like we're in some tight coverage here. Looking inside. Running with this guy. Whoop. Spins it back. Gets the pick. Looking solid on that one. Looking solid on that one. Looks like we're getting a punt return, so we get to see the athleticism here. Brings it in. Upfield. Cuts it up. Looking good. Looking good. I didn't mention track times or anything. They said 4.5 40-yard dash. And I really just want to see it on tape and the speed on there, because sometimes track speeds don't translate anyways. And he looked more than fast enough to get the job done there. And he's looking at there. He's got good pop in the step too. Kind of glides. Look at him. Moves laterally very well. He's good with the ball in his hands. If he gets a pick, he's a threat to house it. We got a little bit of spacing here. We're going to turn them hips. Shuts him down. We're in stay coverage, it looks like. Chops it back. We're going to come up and make the tackle. Oh, gets out, sheds the block, and gets up there. I like it. Watching him. Gets his hands on the DB. Rides him out. All right. Next play. We're up top of your screen here. Inside shade, it looks like a little bit. Kills him. Just kills the dude. Aggressive. That might have been a penalty. I don't know. But at least that he's got some balls on him. Looks like they're trying to figure things out here on defense. Backside. Balls comes his way now. Nice tackle. Gets up there. Looks like outside shade on the wide receiver. We're going to step back a little bit. Hips are flared. Comes up. Makes the tackle. Instant read. Very intuitive. That first play I like the best so far, where he made that read off his guy he was covering, came back for the pick. That was probably the sexiest play so far. Got another punt return here. Let's see what he does. Boom. Nice feet. Nice contact balance. Shows a little bit of burst. See here, we're in coverage. Looks like we're straight up on the wide receiver. Looking straight at him, not inside for the run or anything. We're playing man-man right now. Slows him up. Good work there. So he can be physical at the top of routes. He can be physical with the wide receiver. You're not seeing him impress too often, it seems like. Playing off a little bit here. Heads up. Rolling with the... Gets the tackle. Gets the tackle on that play. We're up top there, so we got a limited view. Looks like we're just going to be heads up with about 4 yards of space or whatever. Going to shed the block here and get to it. That's looking good, being able to make the reads off the block and shed it. Playing off ball here. Down bottom here at the screen. See what comes his way. Quick pass. Holds contained, gets the tackle. Looking solid. Looking solid. Good read and react skills there. Another punt return looks very similar to the other one, but it's probably like same game or whatever. Ball's coming his way. Fields it. Gets upfield instantly. Breaks some tackles. Hard to bring down. I'll say one thing about him is he's physical. He's physical. Like at the top of the route, you're not going to mess around with him. It's going to be a hard guy to beat. He does have some length on him. He does have some range. He has good read and react skills. Like if that ball catches it out in the flat and he has to read and react to it, he's up there instantly. He gets to there quick as well. Gets to a spot. Can shed blocks. All right tackler. He's a good tackler. He said in the scouting report that he's a good tackler but could get better. I could definitely see that as well because he is high at sometimes. I could definitely see bigger guys and more explosive ball carriers getting through him if he's not in the right spot or in a predicament where he can make the proper tackle and he has to really think on the fly. But all in all, he's a good tackler. He's still good. He's still good at it. I can definitely see what they're talking about in the scouting report. We just didn't get a large enough sample here on the highlights to really make a definitive answer to that, but I can see where they got to that. But athleticism standpoint, more than enough speed to get the job done at the college level. They listed him at a 4.5 40-yard dash. I saw that. Track times, when you see posts on some of these players, they may run in the 10s and for the 100s. And you know what? That's sometimes just not translating to their tape. It's said he ran a 4.5. He looks like minimum 4.5. Could be a little faster than that because he does have some wheels on him. Not elite, but he's got some burst. You can definitely see that on tape. Not slow. Good enough and fast enough to get the job done at the college level. And will be a dangerous guy if he gets a pick and has some space in front of him, because he could house it. He's got that type of speed. He can house it, and he's also very explosive. Has a good feel for the football. I like that first clip where he was guarding his guy, and ball came away on the back end behind him to the other wide receiver. He pivoted, turned around, was able to make the pick. That's good instincts. Very good instincts. The highlight film here was just recent, and I feel like I wished it was longer. I really wished it was a lot longer and showed more stuff. I wish there was more clips. We may have to go back to him and look at last year's clips considering this is one of his most recent highlight tapes that he's posted, and just see some more of him. Even though it's from last year, it can still give us some indicators of what he's like as a player, because I do want to see more of him, and I want to see what he looks like on the field. I feel like it's a small sample. I got an idea. I got a good feeling of him, but I want to see more about him because I'm highly intrigued. He looks fun to watch. He looks like he can be very dangerous at the college level. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.